Today, we're going to be analyzing Bitcoin, and I'm going to be showing you why I think this pump is already almost over, which is sad. I mean, we had 3, 6, 7 down days straight, and here we are getting a glimpse of hope, a good green candle for once in like forever. And already I think it's about to come back down pretty soon. So today I'm going to back that up. I'm going to show you why this is not the bottom yet, and I'm going to show you exactly why right now. So see this blue line right here? Ever since we hit a high at 48K, since we hit that high, right, you can see we've pretty much just respected this blue line incredibly well. We rejected here, 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 here. Okay, here we got a little bit above it, dropped, a little bit above it, dropped. Okay, here, dropped, here, dropped. You can see this blue line has been a pretty damn good short-term indication, and you can see for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 months, we've spent only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days above that blue line. Okay, so I want you to think, how many days are in 4 months? 120 days. Okay, so out of 120 days, only 6 days have been above this blue line. So what does that tell you, guys? When we're close to that blue line, or if we're getting any bit above it, so far for the last 4 months, it's been a very good shorting opportunity. Of course, that's not going to hold true forever. At some point, Bitcoin will flip bullish. It will reverse this short-term downtrend. Well, I mean, at this point, it's been a longer term than just downtrend, right? But it will flip that blue line. At some point, we will have bullish momentum behind us, right? So I don't want you to just bank on this fact forever and ever, but I do want you to use it to your advantage in the short term. And so, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, by the way, 8 times, and so, it just, I don't know what else to tell you. It's pretty simple. What you should be thinking based on that is, hey, when we're getting close to this blue line, it's probably a shorting opportunity. As a matter of fact, if we get above it, we've spent less than 5% of the last 120 days above the blue line, right? So, it puts you in a higher probability area to be shorting should price get above this blue line. Like I said, it's only really happened twice where it actually closed above the blue line for more than 2 days. So that's just something I want to bring up to you, and I want you to consider that a lot of times before you set a bottom, okay, one, price is either going to surge coming out of the bottom and it's not going to stop, okay, so you're going to see a big volume surge and it's just going to keep pushing, or a lot of times what will happen is before you set a bottom, you're actually going to come below this low and set a slightly lower low, stop out a bunch of longs, right? And basically, this is what we call a bear trap, right? So a lot of people who will be short thinking, oh, we're going to go down to 10K. Okay, this is exactly where you'd actually expect a bounce, is slightly below here, right? And that's why it's called a bear trap, because everyone who's short thinking you're going to go lower, boom, this is exactly where you actually catch them off guard. And that's where I would expect a short-term bottom if we're going to get it here, not here, okay? So there's too many people to trap. There are too many bears to beat up right here. Should the price get to here, that's where I would anticipate a potential bottom in the short term, but not here, guys. This is in the middle of nowhere, and this is not the place that I would expect a bottom to be very likely. So this leads us to the short-term charts, right? If we know on the longer-term chart, on the daily chart, price doesn't stay above the blue line, then now we need to look in the short-term chart to find where might our entry be to short this market. Where might we want to start entering heavily on the short side? Because we know that, look, we're approaching this blue line. So far, it's pretty much almost always a resistance. Yeah, if we get above it, that's probably the time to get really aggressive on the short side. Okay, and so, now we need to look above. We need to look around us here in the short term and say, all right, where would we short? Because we are near this blue line. I'm looking at this fib level here at 1180 on Ethereum. What do you notice about this? I wouldn't say it's a head and shoulders, but it's somewhat of a topping looking thing. I mean, like I said, you definitely can't call it a head and shoulders. Head and shoulders are most effective when they come at the end of an uptrend, not in a downtrend. This is not really a shoulder. At the same time, look, you see resistance, right? You see resistance, resistance, right? You're just coming into all this area of supply, right? And that's why, sure, it may not be a textbook head and shoulders, but it's just it's definitely not bullish in my eyes, right? Is what I'm trying to say. So, as you approach this area, it would be a lower high from this point, right? So you get a lower high into this fib level as we are actually going higher here, and we're approaching this blue line, which is a great time to be looking to short. So the first place I'm looking to short the market is if Ethereum gets up to 1180. This is where I want to be aggressively looking to short, because I know that's going to coincide with us being around this blue line. Look, it's not like we're bouncing on some incredibly strong volume or anything, right? And so that's exactly why. Should we get up to 1180, this was, like I said, support, resistance, somewhat of support here. Okay, this is the level I'm paying attention to, right? That is the level I would like to short at. Right now I have a great risk to reward, so you can take a measurement here, and if you take a short position here, you could be risking, let's say, 2% to make, guys. We could absolutely dump through here down to 800 bucks. See, this is what I'm looking at here, guys. Risk 2% to make over 25%. That is a setup. Now, remember what I talked to you about? I said, if we're going to set a bottom in the short term, I'd expect us to go undercut this low. And before we set a bottom, it would probably be somewhere around here, right? So a bunch of people who would long the lows, they would actually be underwater. Okay, then you stop those people out who long here, and then actually that sets you up to push higher, right? So that's something I see being very, very real, scenario. So that would take us down to 34% drop. Should we stop and bottom right there for the short term, right? Of course, I don't think this is going to just be a straight ride down. It would probably be something like this, right? Something like that, right? Into this level that I'm talking about before we go higher. Maybe if we even go higher at that point, right? But, this is just kind of how I'm mapping out and I'm game planning where I want to be shorting this bounce, okay? And that's how I come to where I want to short. So hopefully that makes sense, right? We know we're by the blue line. We've spent less than 5% of our time above the blue line. So I know that if we're getting close to the blue line or we're getting slightly above it, look, for the last 120 days, it's been a fantastic time to short the market. We know that they're selling into almost every single bounce here. So, if we're bouncing up into the blue line, over the blue line, into resistance, that is a very high probability situation for myself. Not only is it a high probability situation, it's a high payout situation where I can risk a little bit of money to make a lot of money. So that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. This is a master setup in my eyes and on my radar, and I think it can make a lot of people a lot of money. So checking back in here, guys, and speaking of a lot of people making a lot of money, that would be our alerts members here in Crash Alerts. I sent all these messages out. What I just basically told you in video form is exactly what I was telling everyone live here in the alerts. So if you're not in the alerts, I would join. You kind of missed out big. We're up right now 2,000 bucks over here, 2,000 bucks over here, 4,000 bucks. We're up around 8,500 bucks on this short setup that I mapped out and explained to you. So we nailed it overall. We came right up to where I said I was expecting us to reject, set a lower high. So boom, it's in. Now it's just a matter of, can we get down to my target? We may not, right? Nothing's guaranteed. But if there's one thing I can guarantee is that, this is as good of a chance as you're going to get to nailing a 30% drop, which is not the easiest thing to do. That's a pretty damn good trade, especially in a bear market. We're going to make 22K over here if we can get down to our targets, right? 820, 22K. We get down to 16,500 in Bitcoin right here. It's another 14K. So you got 14K at stake on this short. You got 22K at stake on this short. That's 36,000, 37,000 bucks right there. Of course, if we can get down to 16,500, boom, that's another 18 grand. So you're looking at, guys, $50,000+ in profit. $50,000, three Bitcoin will be worth $230,000. So really, people don't understand, when you're shorting the market and you're taking advantage of the bear market, when you're making like $50,000, in reality, if you're in this for the long term, you're actually making $230,000, right? $250,000. If you're looking at your portfolio in terms of crypto and you're accumulating it. So this is like, learning how to short is such an incredible skill, because that means an average Joe, okay, can literally make 50,000, but really he's making like 250,000. See, shorting is the superpower of the world, but everyone says it's compound interest. Yeah, compound your interest after you short the damn market, and now you really got the ultimate combo. All right. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Shorting is so underrated, and obviously, that's why I try to teach and show on this channel. And obviously, that's why my channel is called Crash Trading, because that's what we specialize in, is trading these crashes, making money during the bear market. And because not many people can do that, guys. Most people have only been losing money for the last 8 months, and we've been doing the exact opposite of that. So if you want to join, first link down below, Crash Alerts. Obviously, if you want to learn how to map out setups and trades like this in advance, Crash Trading Charts course will teach you how I, game plan, how I, look at all the factors in the chart to give me confidence to enter confidently. All right. And look, guys, the truth is I gave you that hint on Twitter, part love, which if you read that backwards, it's bull trap. Let's see if I'm right. So I gave you guys a couple hints on Twitter. If you're not following me there, you should. But at the end of the day, if you're in Crash Alerts, there was no ands, buts, or ifs. You knew exactly what we were doing. You had the exact game plan and the blueprint. So, guys, I do think that if we can break through 19K, we will see very likely 16.9, 16.5. Now, if you're watching this video, obviously this is my vision, this is my target, but targets aren't always hit. Doesn't mean we're actually going to get down to 16.5 and 800 Ethereum. Of course, at this point, I would be slightly biased because I'm in short. Obviously, I want price to go down so I can make a lot more money. Be on the lookout, guys. The risk management course is launching today or tomorrow, and in my opinion, that is more important than the alerts. Last thing before I go here, by the way, is you probably noticed we're using a new exchange. It's called BitGet. We partner with BitGet because they're actually allowed in the US and in Canada. A lot of people who are in US or Canada say that, hey, I can't use Femex, I can't use Bybit. So here's an exchange where you can use it whether you're in the US or Canada, and you don't have to worry at all. But this exchange is insane. It's truly insane. I think it's worked its way up to the top 5 exchanges now. You can actually look at that on CoinMarketCap and verify for yourself. The stop loss fills are insane on this exchange. There is no slippage. Like if you set your stop loss at 21,000, you are going to get filled at 21,000. There is no fucking slippage, no bullshit, and I'm really loving this exchange. That's why I'm using it. So I only use what I actually love with them. I don't partner with anyone. Okay, I barely partner with anyone. So the only exchanges that I really use are BitGet and Femex, and occasionally I'll use Bybit. But if you want to sign up with BitGet or Femex, you can go below and you can basically join under our Crash Alerts VIP link. Obviously, because we have such a big trading group, we do get special rewards. We get extra bonuses. We get reduced trading fees. We get all kinds of stuff for being crash traders, so you can take advantage of that. But guys, if you're on a shitty exchange like Coinbase or Binance, for the love of God, please get the fuck off of those, okay? Get yourself an exchange that doesn't require KYC, whether that's BitGet or Femex. Okay, crypto is not meant to have KYC. Crypto, we're not even supposed to have middlemen or a centralized exchange, but just to this point, there isn't a decentralized exchange that can compete with a centralized exchange right now. There's DYDX, which is a decentralized exchange on Ethereum right now, but they're just not there yet, okay? So for the time being, you got to pick the best centralized exchange that's not going to freeze your money. Okay, that's the most important. Before you sign up for any exchange, figure out, do they freeze your money? Okay, and BitGet, guys, since I partnered with them, I talked to them, and I made sure that, one-on-one conversation I had with them. You know what I mean? Same thing with Femex. Okay, these guys have never frozen my money. All right, so something happened to my audio. So real quickly, guys, I actually closed out this trade. All right, so that's it. I locked in profit 4,000, 2,500, and 1,400 on BitGet. So I'm out with $8,000 today. Yeah, I still think there's a good chance we go down there, but I don't know why. I just don't want to hold it, and I don't like what I'm seeing in the stock market. I just don't want to hold it, even though There's a very good chance we could go down there. I don't know why. I just don't want to. And that's not a good reason to jump out, but fuck it. I do what I want. Right. So, anyways, guys, please, 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 please be on the lookout for the risk management course. It should be coming today or tomorrow. And I highly advise before you ever join the Telegram alerts, you take that risk management process because a lot of people have came through the alerts and people just blow up their accounts, even whenever I'm winning every single trade, or on the opposite, if I'm actually losing every single trade, people just blow up their account no matter what you do. Okay, so like for the last 3 weeks, you can see we've won pretty much every single trade, right? But right before this period, I was actually losing majority of my trades for about like 3 weeks straight. So it's part of the game. We have swings. Sometimes we're hot. Sometimes we win every single trade. The key is when you lose, you can't be losing all your money. You can't be blowing up your account. You gotta be staying in the game, and you gotta stay consistent. So that way, a lot of people, it's hilarious. Like literally before this last 3 weeks, people gave up on like week 19 just because maybe like people will give up right before good weeks come around, and this always happens. It's always like this. I don't know why it has to work like this, but basically, if you really want to succeed in my Telegram, you need to be able to withstand losses. Like most people, they blow up their account in two losing trades. So it doesn't matter when we have big winning trades. What happens to most people is they lose all their money on some losing trades, that when the big trades come around or when the wins come around, they don't even have money to make money by that point. People literally destroy themselves because they have no risk management. And so all it takes is, I can win all these trades, but if I go lose one or two trades now, some people are just going to blow up their account. Right. And, that's why you need to take it upon yourself. You need to take responsibility to learn how to manage and structure your risk. So that way you come out on top and you can withstand down periods, losses, because losses are a part of the game. They're inevitable. You will lose trades. Yet for some reason, everyone plans to win. Nobody plans to lose. And that's why a majority of traders get fucked in this market. So please, I'm so excited to get the risk management course out because I really think it's going to help people a lot. So I really hope it does. And yeah, guys, please, please, please be on the lookout for that. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you later. Bye.